everybody, welcome back to 30 Days Until Done. I'm John Branningham. We're working through mindfulness in the National Park, the National Monument, Sequoia National Monument, and we're just writing poems about the different things. And today, it's clouded over. Yesterday was our day about big things. We're about to get a thunderstorm, and that's a big thing. But the big things aren't the only things that are important here. The small things. It's interesting. People will come to places like this, and it's so overwhelming. All you see is the small thing. On the microcosm level, it's just as fascinating, just as beautiful. And I was really inspired by one of my students a couple of weeks ago because he was going around just getting as close as he could to bugs. And I see one right here on this log right here. Just a tiny little guy. Oh, and I scared him away. And so that's what it is today. What are the things on the small scale? What are the small things? And I think about wildflowers. Each wildflower is its own biosphere, and it supports all sorts of creatures, all sorts of things around it, right? They're all interconnected. I think we've created a biosphere over here with this you can see this whole big place of logs and things we're going to be using for firewood later. And the things that are crawling around in there are I don't know, sort of exceptional. There are bugs, there are mice, there are a whole level of animals living in that thing now that wouldn't be anywhere else. Understanding what the small things are, I think, is absolutely fascinating. There's this beetle that goes flying around. It looks like a fairy if you're able to concentrate on it. And after a while, you kind of, all this overwhelming stuff, you've got to kind of look down and start seeing things. I like footprints. I like all sorts of things. We were looking down before, and we found. I was supposed to find this by surprise, like I just surprised you, and I found a deer femur that's really, really old. You can tell by the way it's worn down. All of these things, these traces of things around us. Now, if I were going to write this poem, what are the small things that I would write about? I might go into my past, and there was I went to Sacred Heart School, and one day we started shaking a fence post, and all these beetles came out, and they'd been living in this fence post, and it was just like we said, okay, cover the fence post up. We were freaked out from beetles, but from my point of view now, it's kind of a beautiful thing, right? It's just like these kids finding this thing just exploding out, and we were on the edge of the meadow the other week, and somebody noticed a whole bunch of ladybugs. We pulled it up and found a ladybug nest, which is, if you've never seen that, it's just, you know, a million ladybugs just crawling in there together. And I might write about that, but I'm going to put myself in there too. What is the experience of finding those beetles? What did that do to me as a young person? It gave me awareness of life gestating just around me everywhere, right? What did it do the other day to find the ladybugs? Same thing, right? I mean, it's a whole colony that I just passed by. And I'm going to put myself in there, maybe think about things in a larger way about myself. Anyway, when you're done, put them down below. I'll see you tomorrow on 30 Days Until Done.